Welcome to Fifth Dimensional Life, Mass Human Awakening. Today I'll be speaking about reincarnation. I appreciate you joining in and watching this. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you think in the comments. Don't hold back, just let it flow out of you. And I want to hear your thoughts. So, reincarnation is real. It is very, very true. It happens on every planet, throughout all of the solar systems, all of the galaxies. Every being goes through a long process of many, many, many lifetimes, not just humans or extraterrestrials, but also animals, plants, rocks, you name it. We've been able to experience all the different levels of consciousness. Many of the beings on our planet are not actually originating souls from this planet. Like myself, I'm a starseed wanderer, way shower being. My soul was from another galaxy, and I volunteered to come here on Earth. I've had thousands of human lifetimes. I've had many, many different types of ET lifetimes, lots of animals, like you name it. I'm kind of an older soul, but I'm not as super advanced yet. And many people who think of like older souls, those are the ones that actually don't have to come back and reincarnate over and over and over again. What happens is every lifetime that you live, you are meant to go on a soul journey to learn soul lessons, and you have soul contracts that you have to complete on each lifetime, no matter if it is a human or an ET or animal, plant, whatever it is. You learn something, or you're supposed to learn something from every incarnation. And that's why you have to come back over and over and over and over and over again to learn all the lessons that your soul needs to level up in the different levels of consciousness. Now, I think there's like 12 or 13 plus infinite, like subdimensional kind of states of consciousness. So most people are like in the middle. There's a lot of younger souls here on Earth, lots of human souls. But there's also the three waves of volunteers, like Dolores Cannon mentions quite often. She has the book on the three waves of volunteers. She has tons of video content on YouTube about them. And her videos can be like 3 hours long sometimes, or an hour each. They are quite extensive. She's one of the most world-renowned hypnotherapists. She does quantum healing hypnotherapy technique. It's a kind of a unique style where she takes a person actually into a really, really deep state of meditation. I've done it here where I live. There was a person who's specially trained in it. There's a few other different types of hypnotherapy out there. Hers is very, very thorough. It's absolutely fascinating. But back to the three waves of volunteers, they are beings, including myself, who came from other star systems to volunteer their soul to help humanity here on Earth, because there's such a dark presence here of demonic entities, beings that want full and total control of the Earth and all the beings on it, and to keep the humans, the Terra humans, enslaved. And so these volunteers are helping awaken people. They're helping raise a vibration, raise a level of consciousness. And they started coming, I believe it's at the end of the 1800s. So that was the first wave that came in of these souls who were being born, who started like reincarnating. And then there's another wave, kind of like 1900s. And then I'm one of the ones who is in the third wave here. And I'm in my mid 30s, but so it's super interesting how these waves of volunteers are coming in, and they're also leveling up their consciousness while helping the humans level theirs up and rid the world of the deep, evil, demonic beings and entities that are here. So she, has tons and tons of case records of hypnotherapy sessions. Also, one of my favorite authors and hypnotherapists is also Michael Newton. I got this book about over a decade ago, Journey of Souls. It is absolutely fascinating. You can see here, he goes through, it's basically all case studies of different hypnotherapy sessions. So goes over how it feels to die, what you see and feel right after death, when and where you learn to recognize soulmates on Earth, different levels of the soul, beginning, intermediate, and advanced, what happens to disturbed souls, and the purpose of life and manifestation as a creator. And it's interesting here as a creator, because God is the ultimate creator, which essentially God is the universe. And we, our souls, are fractals of the universe, meaning we're fractals of God, the creator, and we co-create our reality with God because God is within us. So absolutely amazing how it kind of comes full circle through that. This is very, very highly important information that we should be learning. Humans need to know this, that reincarnation is real. You have had already many, many lifetimes, many different types of lifetimes. We should be able to look into our past lifetimes and, recognize that and not be so afraid of death, not be so afraid of, oh, what's going to happen after, because there is so many incredible things that happen after death. I can make another video about that too, because it is absolutely fascinating. And, we don't have to be so scared. We don't have to put so much fear and worry and pain and suffering around death. When people cross over, they become weightless. They don't have any more pain. They don't have any more worries on them. They don't have to eat. They don't have to sleep. They don't have to do all of the maintenance that we have to do here on Earth. Incarnating on Earth, on our planet, is such a low, heavy density. There's a lot more pain, a lot more suffering here on this planet than there are on other planets where there's higher consciousness, higher dimensions, like in, fifth dimension that we are crossing over into. It's going to be a lot easier to live. We won't need as much food. We won't need as much sleep. We will be able to be in a higher state of consciousness and happiness and joy. It will come much more easily. This third dimension reality that we are currently in and transitioning in and out of quite frequently, but through 3D is very, very hard. It's one of the most difficult incarnations. If you think, oh, my life is hard, it's because it is hard. This is one of the most difficult incarnations ever. And lots of ETs didn't want to volunteer to come here because they know it's hard. It sucks. It's like very, very heavy, very dense, very heavy emotions, lots of pain, lots of suffering. But on the other flip side, there's lots of great things to enjoy. We get to taste a lot of food and drinks, and we get to feel the range of emotions. Whereas when you go into higher states of consciousness, there is more, there's not as much of a large shift between emotions. You're more in like a higher vibrational, happy state of consciousness. You don't get those huge influxes of emotions. You can see it glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing too. So if you want to look into your past lifetimes, I highly recommend doing hypnotherapy. There's lots of hypnotherapies you can do in-person sessions or online sessions. Either one of them work quite well. And to really, if you want to practice getting into that too, you can just work on your meditation skills every day. Do diligently, because it is a muscle. The more you do it, the better strength you have of doing it. You can also do past lifetime regression. You can do Akashic record readings. You can do meditation where you can go access the Akashic records. This is the 8th dimension. It's just like literally a massive, massive library of everything and anything and all the other different timelines, all histories from all planets, from your history, all of your past lifetimes, everything. This is an accumulation of everything that ever was and all of the other potential possibilities of anything that could have existed. So there are people who specialize in the Akashic records. You can contact different people to get yours read. You can do it on your own as well. There's lots of different types of books out there. There's lots of meditations that get you into this state. The best thing, again, to do with this is to not eat a heavy meal before bed. Don't eat sugar throughout the day and very light amounts of meat. This will help just lighten your body a lot more, lighten your like energetic body, so you can get into that higher vibratory state and the gamma brainwave state to get into the gateway of multidimensional gateway and like the cosmic web, which I'll do another video on. And that's how you can travel through different dimensions and you can access the Akashic records. And you can't just go in there and start reading anything and seeing anything you want. You will only have certain amount of access to your own information and what you're only supposed to see. Because in also what's interesting about this third dimensional realm that we're in is that when we are born, we go through a veil of forgetfulness, this kind of white cosmic veil. So we forget all of our past lifetimes. We forget our soul missions. We forget our soul contracts. Who we are is completely thrown out the window, and we are just like a fresh, brand new soul. And it takes our whole lifetime to figure out, okay, who am I? What am I doing here? Why am I incarnated here? And some people figure it out, and some people never, ever figure it out. And that is the meaning of true helplessness, is when a soul incarnates over and over and over again, and they never actually clue into the fact that reincarnation is real, and they have soul missions, and they're on a soul journey, and they need to do certain things, learn certain lessons to level up their soul. If they're stuck in never being able to clue into leveling up their soul, that is what is defined as true helplessness. And you can see reincarnation is explained in so many different types of cultures, lots of different types of ancient history, lots of ancient depictions as well. It was at one point in the Bible, but it was omitted out strategically. Again, there's some really dark, messed up forces here on Earth that don't want you to realize that, hey, you have lots of lifetimes and you've already lived many, and you're going to keep on living forever and ever and ever. Your soul never dies, never, ever. You will keep living on forever, and you don't have to be so afraid of death. The thing with these malevolent beings, they want you to be afraid. They want you to be scared of death and scared of, what else could be out there. Like it's a huge mystery, when actually many people over and over have figured it out. And it's not that scary. You are here for a reason, and you need to find out that reason. Remember who you are, step into your true power, and get on with it. Level up your consciousness. And there are so many souls incarnated right now on this planet because of this massive shift in consciousness that we're all going through right now. We don't have to do as much work in this lifetime. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We do have a lot of work to do in this lifetime, because we're bringing so much of our karma from our past lifetimes into this one. And all of that karma is basically getting wiped clean through this major shift from 3D into 4D and into 5D states of consciousness. Another really interesting thing is, I believe David Wilcock says it in The Cosmic Secret, where when people die, 27 grams just of weight leaves their body right after death, or right when people die. And that's basically what they've calculated it out to scientifically. They have figured out the soul basically weighs about 27 grams, and that leaves the body once that person dies. And that basically is the energetic body, separating completely from the physical body, and you go into the next dimensional state. Again, I'll make a video about what happens after death, because again, it's super fascinating. We've all died many times over. A lot of times we'll have birthmarks on our body, very strange, odd birthmarks that actually show different ways that you've died. When I had hypnotherapy done, I have a couple weird birthmarks, like on my lower back and on one of my arms as well. And they were like cut marks of like my throat being slit and me being hung and like burned at the stake as a mystic and different things. So it's absolutely fascinating to look into your past lifetimes. And there's lots of different ways to do it. But let me know what you think of reincarnation, what resources you have on it, what your thought process is. If you remember any of your past lifetimes, there's lots of different things that you can have, like recurring dreams, out of place memories, strong intuition, or, you know, not feeling that you're from this place, not feeling that your parents are actually your parents. You feel a different age or a different gender. That's really, really common. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm female, but I'm born into this male body. Why is that? It's because you were most likely female in many of your past lifetimes. And this one, you decided to be male. We decide prior to incarnating, we decide who we want our parents to be, who we want our siblings to be, who we want our, you know, different people in our lives to be. We chose this lifetime and the difficult things in it because of our soul journey. We wanted to learn these things for our soul to progress. So if you think, oh, life is so hard and why did this have to happen? It's because you actually chose it before you incarnated, and you are going through this because you need to learn the lesson for your soul journey. So instead of complaining about things, yes, this incarnation is difficult, but what is the thing that your soul is going to learn from this? What is the takeaway? How can your soul progress from this difficult situation that you're in, especially everything that's going on in the world right now? There's a lot of really crazy things. Everything that's going on is to wake us up, is to activate us right now. And you are listening to this right now because you are being activated. Your DNA and neurological pathways are being activated, and you are starting to remember, or you are remembering who you are right now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.